This is the 2003 Mitek Floor Tracker from Global Machinery in El Mirage, Arizona. And we've done quite a bit of work to the machine. We built brand new clamping hardware for it that was missing. And we did a lot of troubleshooting to the machine, the air, put on some new hoses, new cylinders, checked out all the pneumatics, and everything seems to be working quite well. And now we're going to build a sample truss on the machine. First of all, this machine is capable of doing the splicing as well. So you have a splice plate here which is adjustable, and we're not truss builders, but we do figure that you probably would want to build 4 cords at a time, so every pass you have 2 completed cords, top and bottom cord, for your next truss that you're building. But for our purposes, we're just going to show it with a bottom and a top cord on it, and we'll plate the top side and then we'll flip them right here and plate the back side. These pieces here, though, you have several different pieces of hardware you could use that are on there depending on how many splices you were doing and what you were doing, how long they were to support the lumber. But in this case, we're just using 2 of these pieces here to sort of support the ends of them. So once you get your 2 pieces in here, you can just adjust it with the hand wheel to cinch it down prior to rolling it, and it'll make it good and tight. And then if you were doing 4, you'd want to take this little red bar and move it back to these holes, back to here. Go! Back further. So we already plated the backside of these top and bottom cords here, but we now put it on with, there's actually 3 of the large splice plates that are adjustable that can clamp onto the middle and the ends, because our lumber that we're using is really bad, and so it's warped and twisted, so it's better this way. It'll hold it in better. So now we'll just go ahead and splice the second side. And so then it holds the lumber in pretty well, and it really presses in the plate well. So now we go ahead and we'll flip it over to build our first truss on this side, on the flip up side. So now we're ready to press our truss here on the first side, and we're going to clamp it first. And so we have our air clamping down on this end. Upon installation, we don't have these 2 tables here bolted together, so we can only run the press so far on that table over there. But upon installation, these tubes will need to be welded together here on these ones and on the other ones down there. So there'll be a continuous, you'll have about 2 21-foot truss jig setups on the machine. So for our purposes, we have it clamped right now, and on the left side of the truss you have end stops that slide into those slots there that you can push up the end of the truss against. And then on the other side, toward the end of the machine, you have on this end you have a reel down here that has an air hose where you could move this air hose to different spots. But that air hose will allow you to work which was optional, the end air clamping here. So these are already clamped when we clamped the when we clamp the truss, and then they'll unclamp when we're ready to move the truss. So everything works smoothly. Upon installation also, all the cylinders, they have flow controls, and we'd recommend that you adjust all those flow controls to sort of even everything out. We have uneven air in our shop here, so we can only run it a couple of cycles and then we're out, so we can't get a good run of it to adjust those flow controls. But now that we have the truss clamped up, we'll go ahead and put the plates on, and then we'll roll them. And we can't roll down to the end last plate, so we'll just pound those on and then we'll flip it. Our lumber is pretty lousy. We don't have very big plates, so we're just going to go ahead and plate the back side on this same side that we just did of the truss out of the jig. First unclamp it, and then it pops it out over into the next jig, and I think the operator has to take it over there when he gets it over there and flip it further. But all the flippers, there's 5 for all the tables, and they all work, and a lot of the pieces are new, but they all work and they flip up. On the back side, there's separate controls for the clamping. So then after they roll this side, then we have pop-ups that'll pop the truss up. Then it can be pulled off of the table. And again, that goes all the way down the table. There's several. The tables have zones, which we'll explain on paper, where you can just operate this end of the table or both ends of the table if you're building, say, a full 40-foot truss. But all the pop-ups work and all the flippers work, and everything works quite smoothly.